Hello, my name is Yasmin Euphemia, aka Sugar, and I'm here tonight with.
Hi, I'm Beverly, and I'm your UK fluffy chick. And together, we are the founder Sis-Stars of Support a Sis-Star Network, where the aim is to showcase people that are doing amazing things within their communities. And tonight, we are here with Beth. Hello, Beth. Beth.
Good evening. Nice to be here.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Okay,
Where
so
are you?
Beth,
Yeah, go
go
on.
on.
Fire
Go
away.
on.
I was
You
going to
go.
ask, where are you? Are you in London?
Yeah, ish.
Ish.
I'm on the
She's just
outskirts.
just
Ah,
before you fall off the edge of London.
that's where you are.
She's the further is it are you north?
Yeah, I'm
Furthest
north.
north.
Yeah, just out on the outskirts of North London in Hertfordshire.
I can
Right.
understand.
So, Beth,
Hmm.
we know nothing about Beth because we're just curious about Beth. I mean, I did, you know me, I like to take a little pre here and there, but Beth,
The
tell
research
us,
queen.
call me nosy, but yes, just tell us who is Beth and what is Beth here to showcase with us this evening.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Beth. I live in Bournemouth in Dorset, and I've been down here for 8 years. And I'm what is called a professional declutterer and an organizer. But that's quite a narrow term, I think, sometimes for what I do, because I work with a number of clients going in decluttering, but sometimes I help people pack up stuff because they're moving, maybe decluttering at the same time, and supporting them. And I think one of my clients said the other day, you kind of unstick people. I think that's quite a good term, because
Okay.
lots of people get stuck in trauma. I think if they've had a breakup of a relationship, they're kind of frozen, don't know, got boxes and, or stuff from childhood, and find that they're collecting loads of stuff. And yeah, I just sort of help them get unstuck and move
Cut
forward.
the ties.
Yeah, to the stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. I took a little pre, like I said, and I thought, oh, this is amazing because I'm the queen of hoard when it comes to
I,
hobby stuff.
She's not. She's a hobbyist that hoards. You don't know what real hoarding is,
Okay,
Fluffy.
then
But anyway, carry
a
on.
semi hobby hoarder. Yeah, I'm a fabric junkie, and
yeah.
I just when I see fabric, I'm like a magpie to something shiny. I can't leave, not making anything, but I just have to have that fabric. So yeah, so you help to get people unstuck. What is the reason why you decided to go into that? It's an unusual niche.
It is a niche, yes. I think I always really not struggle with this question, but I think there were so many, how sometimes in life you're a kid and you think you want to be this, that, and the other. I think the first thing is, as a child, I used to, on a Saturday, we were raised quite strictly. So on a Saturday, mum used to say, go to your bedroom and clean your bedroom before you go out. And I used to just like clean a bit. But I used to love kind of, sharpening my pencils and sort of sorting out stuff, and I used it as a really lovely time for me, I think, really, just to sort of create a really good environment, my bedroom. And then when I got older, I became a PA and I was a secretary, legal secretary. That was my, the role, the sort of the career path I went. And then I became a PA, and then I started working with these legal types that are like, have you ever seen a lawyer's office? You know what I mean? Piles of piles here and books and everything. And I would go in and sort and tidy and file. And so I've always been quite an organized person. I've always worked for people that need sort of sorting out, really. So it always felt natural to me. But I suppose there was two major things in my life. My mum was living not in this county, and we'd lost dad, and although she wasn't a hoarder, she was starting to get very, I don't know, she didn't want to leave the house, oh, and she'd say, well, I've got this and I bought this, and I could recognize that there were things there going on that weren't really helping her. So about 5 years ago, she decided to sell the house and move closer to me, and we decluttered. It took a week. It was really challenging. I think it is when you're working with family. Do you know what I mean? Because
Mm.
there's always going to be a discussion about what you want to keep. But I basically sorted everything out for her, and I kind of went, that's definitely for keep. I can see that, you know. I think that should be given to charity. I think that should be chucked. And the chuck stuff was like broken, chipped, or whatever, you know, and then created these piles. And I then get mum in and say, what do you think? And of course, there'd be a bit of a discussion. Then I trot off down to the charity shop. So all the week, I just kept going backwards and forwards. And what was really interesting was, obviously, it was very difficult. She didn't enjoy the process, and neither did I, really, if I'm really honest. But I did actually think, wow, this could be something that I could provide for people. She then moved to be near me. And I can honestly tell you, that was when she was 80, this happened. She's now 89, and she's like a different person. She's actually younger than she was when she was staying in that house on the verge of being a hoarder, you know, because she was doing that buy one, get one free thing and then showing them to me, you know. And I can honestly say that's probably the biggest inspiration, because my mum is now 89 and it's freed her from that. I don't know what, I don't think she'd be here. I really mean that. And obviously, you know, we're sharing this information, but I mean, I seriously mean that. And I think even she knows that. She went from being quite down, you know, sort of sitting in the chair, obviously memories of dad. And now she goes the bus into town. She goes out. She's all the clothes are all matching. You know, she quite she puts her earrings in. Those were the things that she wasn't doing 9 years ago. So
Wow.
I don't know what would have happened. And I think that was, for me, the inspiration, the biggest inspiration. And at the same time that was happening, I was splitting with my ex-husband, and it was obviously a really, really challenging time on every level. And it was really interesting because you could have argued from the outside that it looked like we had everything. I mean, people would have gone, oh my God, I'd love to be like you. But I came to realize, just because you got this stuff, it doesn't make you happy. It's what's going on here. And I've always said you could live in a tent on the beach hut on a beautiful beach with the love of your life. You know, I don't know, sing for a living or something. But if you're totally in love with yourself and happy in your thing, in nature, or whatever it is fuels you, you don't need the trappings. Trappings are nice. And I'm not ever going to say to someone, if you don't want to aspire to that, brilliant, if that's your thing. But don't make it your thing. Don't make it like, oh, I'll be happy when I've got, when I'm driving, when I live, because I had all that. And honestly, it didn't make me happy. But then that was my thing. And I had to go back to myself and really look and say, well, why am I not happy? Well, I wasn't happy in the marriage, didn't love myself, all the stuff. And that's where I think I'm, you know, I love doing what I do, because I see so many people trapped with, you know, the relationships that they've gone through, the childhood, and it's all just so, it's all there. It doesn't matter what age they are. They could be in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, but they're still living that thing. And I try and help them get, because I know what it was like for me, really, you know. And I know for a while I had a spending problem, I fully admit, and I loved clothes, you know what I mean. I was like, every day is a shopping day, and you know, and I couldn't, a bit like you were saying, Beverly, you know, I was the same, but with clothes, I couldn't stop buying clothes. Every time I was out, it was another dress, it was that. And I came to realize as well that I had a problem, got me into quite bad financial debt, but also what the hole was I trying to fill here with this, you know? And I've managed to wean myself off. I still like, you know, it's weird though, because I say weird in a good way. I don't have that shopping gene anymore. You know, that one that's, oh, let's go shopping.
Yeah, you're compelled to do it. You're not compelled.
No, you know, before it was like a thing. If someone has actually said to me, what do you do for a hobby? I'd go, oh, shopping with my girlfriend, you know. Now I go, well, we go for a walk on the beach. It's really, I'm not saying I don't like, you know what I mean? But it's not,
it's different. The priorities
it's
have changed.
really, or go and have a coffee with a friend, or do you know what I mean? Or go to cinema.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or art. I've been doing some art recently, and I've been really enjoying that. So suddenly the shopping that was like that has suddenly gone all the way down, and yeah, I'll do it. But it's not like, and the thought of going shopping now like I used to up and down Oxford Street, you know, I can't even, it fills me with horror. So yeah, that's not my story really.
Okay. So how do you decide on your clientele or where to find them? I mean, and the reason why I asked you that is because I used to live, not that it's not a very good example. This guy that I lived near to, he did what the council called deep cleaning. Basically, people that had passed away in their homes, he went and cleared after the body's been gone, where they'd been there for days or however long, he went and cleaned that area. And it was like, well, how do you get into that? So this is why I'm asking you. At least he got a position with the council. The council called him in to do deep clean. So how do we know about you?
That's a really good question, and I've sort of struggled a bit with it. I think the search engine option optimization, as you know, is all the thing, isn't it? And it costs a fortune to do, but it does help if someone puts in declutterer. And I think the TV programs have really helped. You know, the Stacey Dooleys. I don't know if you've seen any of them, but there's been a lot on TV about hoarding and decluttering, and you know. But you're right, the council. So interestingly, about a year ago, I did a talk for an Asperger's group, and I could honestly have told you that I walked away. I mean, I'm always kinder to myself now. Me of old would have beaten myself up and said, that was awful. They didn't like you, you know, whatever. I always say I do my best, but me of new just turned away and thought, I've done my best. And most of them were hoarders, so they're not going to really buy into what I'm saying about why decluttering is good. But then this guy came over and he said, actually, I loved your speech. I loved what you're offering. And I think I could pass your number on to someone. Next thing I know, I get a call from the council, just like you said.
Okay.
So social worker, and she works with the autism team. So all her clients are autistic. And she said, actually, I think I've got a client for you. So long story short, I've got 2 clients now through the council. And one of them, she's got a lot of children and disabilities, autism throughout the whole family, you know, so there's a lot of challenges there. I'm doing a lot of not only decluttering, she is a hoarder by her own, you know, agreement. We can use that word with her. She had got a lot of food, so we've managed to clear the out-of-date foods. We've achieved a lot. We've got a lot to go. I mean, there's a garage, there's a container, you know, but we are working through. But I'm also offering her a lot of PA support as well now, because she struggles with, I mean, when people talk about clutter, you know, they think, oh, it's a wardrobe overflowing.
Yeah.
But it's all, like she says in her own terms, she says, Beth, I'm cluttered in every element of my life, you know. I mean, the post doesn't get to her, you know what I mean? She'll be waiting for a letter and it won't arrive, you know. If you can guarantee you'll go into the bedroom and the light switch will go, it's like everything, it feels like everything, you know. She'll go to use her computer, it's not working. She had thousands of emails which we managed to just get rid of, actually. You know, she's signed up for all this stuff, and she says that I am cluttered in every part of my life, so everything is hard work. You know, she gets herself really overwhelmed. She's got all these items in the drafts, you know, all these emails that she's going to send that she hasn't sent. So it doesn't matter whether it's physical, like bags that haven't gone out the door, or whether it's an email that's inbox that's completely disorganized. You know, she's got three laptops she worked off, and I just said to her, why have you got 3 laptops? I couldn't, I've got the one, you know. And I know we've all got different brains, and I know we all different, but I think she's starting to see that actually this is not really helping her. You know, she can see that herself. And if she's got something to do with the kids, we had an issue the other day. She was, you know, I texted and say I'm on my way, and she said, oh, I'm really, really stressed. I'm really, you know, I'm really out of it at the moment. I'm really not struggling. And then I went to her desk, and she just had all the paperwork strewn everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It was chaotic. And I said, right, okay, first off, let's put it all in order. Let's put it in date order. Let's do it by the child. One thing at a time. Tell me what's going on. We write a list. We work through the list. And actually, by the time, she's laughing and joking by the time I've left, you know, but I think she can see it herself, but she can't get there herself, if you know what I mean. But I hope that by the time I've finished with her, that actually she will be a lot more on top, because I feel she has the potential to be, you know. So that's a permanent, well, that's a contract that's going to go on for a long time. And then I've got another one where he is a hoarder. And I was just telling Yasmin earlier, I mean, he's autistic with a disability. So he lives in a very, very bad situation, actually, one of those ones you see on TV. But today, for the first time, he actually allowed me in the property without him being there. So that is massive. He hasn't allowed anyone in the house for 3 years. So you can imagine, very dusty and fight with the talcum powder. I keep saying to him, what do you do with the talcum powder? Do you just get it and just brew it? Because we have a bit of a laugh. I make him laugh and he makes me laugh. I go, what do you do with it? What do you do with it? Do you just go like this? He goes, yeah, I do.
Because like, there's attachment issues at the end of the day, though, isn't it? Because it's like there's a bigger picture outside the physical story.
Yes, that's going on.
Yeah, it's because like you're saying, like, you know, sometimes you get so overwhelmed with everything, you end up doing nothing because you just think, oh my God, I got this, I got that, I got this needs to clear, that needs to, and then it just looks like so much. But then I took to doing to-do lists in order. And before you know it, you just go through one item at a time, before you know, like, oh my God, everything. Whereas at first, it just looks like, oh my gosh, this is too much. And I find clear spaces, because when you're in a space that's cluttered, or you've got for me, if I've got too much things around me, I get confused.
You get cluttered as well.
Yeah, I really get confused. It's like I don't know what to do. Like even sometimes.
I get that. I get with clients like that, and I think, and I know as well, like you say, if it's really overwhelming, and you can't see the wood for the trees, you know, you don't know where to start, right? You've got so much to do. I even get it sometimes. I've got so much to do. What do you end up doing? You don't do any of it, do you?
Exactly.
Because it's much easier to put the not being funny, and then and a lot of my clients do that. You know, they push it into a spare room. They think, oh, I'll do it later, and then the door gets closed.
Yeah, it's the do it later. I think that makes it even worse. That's my pet. Well, the thing is, I haven't got any ties that bind. I think I have moved 5 times in the last 3 years. Yeah, so I don't get a chance to develop clutter, but I listen to people sometimes and I think, why? But then we need people like you, Beth, because it seems to me that it's the majority of people have so much going on. I'm a great believer the state of your home or the space that you're in is the state of your mind.
It's a reflection of you. I think that universal law thing, I really believe in that. And I think if you've got it cluttered, it's saying to the universe, isn't it? I'm a cluttered person. I'm really like all organized, like you say, cluttered mind. And without a doubt. And the letting go, it feels like it's baggage to me. It's like it's weighing them down because they are sat there worrying about it. Yeah, I had a client the other day and he was like, oh my God, you should see my loft. Oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. And if I die, my kids are just going to put it on a skip and that upsets me. And I said, well, if you're gone, you're not going to know.
Exactly.
But I said, I do understand that you're upset now about it because I would be, wouldn't you? If you, like said, you looked around, right, and you just thought someone was just going to come in when you pop your clocks and just scoop it all up and put it on a skip. It'd be quite upsetting, wouldn't it? So when I get closer to what I think might be the end for me, I'm going to be like, literally, I'll be like a suitcase. You know what I mean? I'll be like, that's it. That's my stuff. It does hold you back. And I do think as well that if you let go, something new will come in. We know, you know that from a business point of view. Sometimes you shut yourself down, you know. And with a lot of them, they end up not leaving their home. They're so shut. They're literally trapped. They can't move around their house. You know, the lights are low. So what I tend to do is go in, work through their rubbish, help them take that down to the skip thing that they've got, the bins or whatever. I do tip runs. I try not to do it, but I do because for a lot of them it's easier rather than loading up their bins. Take stuff to the charity shop for them and help them let go really and reorganize stuff, you know. So maybe something's not working there, we put it somewhere differently. Suggest some storage solutions and get them into a better place, and try to encourage them to let go, which I'm working with a lady today, actually, and she's got to be out of her flat. 30 years of hoarding, 30 years, you can hardly move in there. Everything is, you know, you open up the door and you're like, you know, but she's lovely. She's so lovely. And she knows she's got to let go. So we're just going through bag at a time, bag at a time. But she couldn't start on her own. You can imagine 30 years in a small 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, every room is absolutely full. So I've been helping her, which has been lovely, actually. She's so lovely. It's like, at least she kind of says she's a hoarder. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't hide it. And also she does seem to be able to let go. So she's very much like, charity, charity, charity.
Good, isn't it?
Which is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Because the ones that find it hard to let go, like, you know, like you said, when you see them on TV and stuff, and people are saying, okay, this is gonna go, and no. Or they make the piles for them, and then they go back into the piles and start taking the stuff back out of the piles. It's like, and then you're back to square one because you haven't got rid of anything.
When I started, I was so blinking naive. Honestly, I was so naive. And I was like, I remember working with this client and I was all chuffed and we had all these bags. And she said, yeah, I'll take them to the car and to the charity shop. And then I'd forgotten something. When I came back, she was going through them all and she was dragging them back into the house. I was like, oh, no. I said, why are you doing that? With those kind of people, I to be fair, if they're going to keep doing that, but with the client, the autistic guy, actually, I had to be fair. I take everything in my car because he does go through the bins. He has admitted he does it. He makes a bit of a joke of it now, but he is very charming. We have some, I think I've been doing it for about 3 weeks, and he left me to it a little bit, but he's pretty much in your face. You know, he's literally there on my shoulder. Don't touch this. Don't touch that. Put that back. You know, and it could be the mankiest, whatever. And I'm like, so there's a fine line. Sometimes I just get the bin and I just go, and I put it in, and he smiles, you know. But yeah, a few weeks ago it was actually quite funny. He kind of, and really sweet. Oh, he
you
went
sure
into
the sweetness is not to lull you into a false sense of security that you think, oh, okay, I'll let you have that, seeing as you're so nice?
He's got an innocence about him because he is like a child, you know. But it was really sweet because he left me on my own for a while. If you get him into a book or something, he will read the book. A bit like Beverly was saying, he's very attached to his books, his CDs, his music. It's very important to him. I play him music, which he really likes, and we decide every week what we're going to play. I bring my little speaker so he can listen to that. Anyway, it was so funny. I was just about to finish off and he said, oh, let's see what damage you've done then. And I just laughed. And I went, oh, frightened. And he came in and he went like this. And he went, I leave you in here for an hour. And I thought, oh, I don't know if he's joking, but I thought he was. And he turned to me and he went, thank you so much. And he gave me a hug. He hadn't seen his bed 2 years.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
He sleeps on the sofa in the living room. Couldn't see his bed. Didn't sleep on his bed because he couldn't blink and see his bed. But now, he's got his Knight Rider duvet cover on. And
it must be so liberating.
Satisfying.
Oh, it's the best feeling
when they've done that clear. I know, like when I have a clear and organized, because all right, I'm gonna have a confession. Like, so my thing is storage solutions. So I started off with a shelving unit for all my hobby things.
Yeah.
The hobby stuff grows. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna need more things. So I bought a cupboard. Then I ended up with another shelf. Then I've ended up with a drawers. And it's like now it's all taken over one wall. So it's like, where do you, with your clients, get that boundary where you can say to them, like, in terms of storage solutions, to say, okay, this is all you're working with. Yeah. Anything else is a no-go.
I think when it takes over, you can kind of instinctively feel, can't you, where something's taking over. It's like with this client, his books have taken over the house. I mean, he's bought more than one of the same copy. He's probably got 8 of each CD. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's every cupboard, every shelf, you know, and it's difficult to get through to him. But with someone like yourself, I would just say, you know, right, if it feels overwhelming, I think sometimes NHS you can just feel it, can't you? If it's like literally in every cupboard and you're overflowing. And I always say if it's on the shelf, if it's on the floor, if every shelf drawer you open up, it's overflowing, falls onto the floor, or that's too much. You've got too much. So how I work with clients is I literally, let's just say, it doesn't matter whether you start from left to right or right to left. We literally would go through bit by bit. And I'd say to you, right, let's just say you've got some craft card. I was working with a client once. I got a lot of clients actually that got craft stuff, you know. And I said to her, right, do you use all this craft stuff? And she'd be like, yep, I use that. Yeah, I use that. And then she'll say, well, no, I don't like that color. You know, I don't like that color. I don't even like that texture. It goes. What I do is I go onto an app called Trash Nothing. It's a free cycle site. I'm sure you've got it in London. It's the same sort of thing.
I'm sure Fluffy Chick has actually used it.
No, maybe not. But now you got me
that
on something.
But it's good though, because you can give stuff away basically. So I would do a post. So let's just say there's a whole load of stuff that my client prepared to do. I mean, normally I kind of say, you know, if it's really overtaking, you need to size it down, don't you? Probably by about 50%. You know, you have to be really, really brutal with yourself. And also go on your gut instinct. Don't sit there for ages thinking, well, I might use it. I mean, like I always say to my clients, if you tipped out a big box and it was just full of random stuff, don't be sat there looking at it and going, well, I might, what's this? Literally hone in on what is the absolute, like, for instance, it's got your car keys in there. They're a definite keeper, aren't they? You know, if you've got your wallet in there, keep, you know, your passport, whatever it is. Then if there's a whole lot of other stuff that you just think, random stuff I haven't looked at, bin it, you know, it's simple as that. And I did that the other day. I mean, even in my apartment, which is like really organized, I went into my little utility room and I had this IKEA box, and I thought, what is in here? And I was like, it was quite heavy. So I tipped it upside down. And there's all this stuff. You know, you get all this IKEA bits that you don't need, you know, it comes and you keep them, don't you? Just in case. But what I did do was
you appreciate that.
Yeah. I looked around, but I looked at it and I thought, right, that's important. Light bulb, batteries important. Yeah, want to keep that. That's that. The rest of it, I just went, right, bin, done. 5 minutes, sorted.
Okay. You're practicing what you preach then.
Yeah.
So we know where you're at now.
Yeah.
And what sort of got you there. Am I right to say it's over 5 years you've been doing this now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to move on to do? Like, move on is not the right word. Like,
where do you want to go?
Where do you see this going?
My original dream, and it is still my dream, is to be a coach, like a lifestyle coach, decluttering coach, whatever it is, because
they're needed.
I've had so much experience, and I know that people talk about being a coach and things, but I have seriously experienced so much in my life. I've been really lucky. I've had some great stuff and I've had some horrible stuff, but I've learned from all of it. And I know that I can help women. And what I want to do is, with the lifestyle concept, to have a place where a woman who's maybe, you know, had childhood stuff that she's still dealing with, you know, or an abusive marriage in any shape or form, and to be able to come to me, you know, I've got a friend who's a really good painter and decorator. So, you know, let's call in my friend Nadia and have a one area where someone can go from, you know, do they want to do yoga? Do they want to go clubbing again? You know, do they want to date again? I can help them, direct them in any area they want to do to get them unstuck. That's what I want. And I want to help those that are still living the trauma, whatever that trauma was, because most people that have that real issue, I mean, I work with people, women, they're in their 50s, they don't get out of their bed, they're trapped in a childhood something, they're now on social care. It breaks my blinking heart, and I know that I can help. You know, I know that sounds very good. I'm not saying I can solve the world or heal the world or anything like that. I'm not like that, but I know that if I can get my business to where it wants to be, like there's like a I want to lay on an event. That's what I want to do. I want to lay on a women's empowerment event down here. That's my ultimate goal. And I would have someone come in and talk about the benefits of exercise. You know, what is spirituality? You know, what is narcissism? What is gaslighting? You know, what is decluttering? Why is it good for you? And I would talk about that. And I want to have someone to come in and be, you know, and make it really funky. And this isn't going to be some wishy-washy, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
real
because
get
you
some,
have a lot of those
seminar.
kind of things that do
yeah,
that.
get
Yeah.
some good people in, proper good speakers that come in, you know, someone to do a meditation and then to someone to talk about hypnotherapy, the benefits of it. Because I've had so much mental health support and issues with myself. I got diagnosed in 2020 with ADHD, and it's becoming like the buzzword, you know, all the celebrities going, well, I've got it, or I've got a little bit of it. Well, I think we're all on some sort of spectrum, you know, from 0 to 10. But if you have over a 5, I always think it can really blink and ruin your life, you know. And I know I've had moments where my ADHD has probably been a 10, you know, where I've been unable to make a decision, and, you know, in the fear state, out of control, if you like, really. Self-medicating, you know, used to be a real sugar addict, and I don't mind admitting alcohol's been not necessarily an issue, but I definitely could go out and have a few and everything. And I've come to a point in my life, I suppose the other thing is, well, just backtracking there, I came to realize in like 2014 when everything went with my ex, that I just never had been really happy, you know, like deeply. I made we look smiley and happy and positive, and everyone thought I was the life and soul. And yes, I am all those things. But if you really wanted to get inside me, and if you looked inside, I just wanted to cry, you know, like just so hurt.
Yeah.
And I had to heal those hurts. So in 2014, I went right back to when I was young. I asked friends about what it was like when I was a kid, unpicked my childhood, healed, forgave, and moved forward. And I think the reason I'm sharing that story with you is there are so many million women, million and millions of
Absolutely, absolutely,
that are totally, you know, we're all getting into it, you know, we're 40s, 50s, going into the menopause, you know,
and they've still got those traumas from
and the
50
pains are
years
all
ago.
coming through, aren't they? Because you can suppress that stuff to a point. But I think when you get into the menopause, it comes out whether you want it or not. You can't hide. Oh, I'm feeling all like tearful now, but I really so passionate about it because I'm in a good space now, and I know that I can help. Because I know what I was like. I was a blinking mess. I really was, but I'd suppressed it all so much, pretending everything was fine, pretending the marriage was fine, pretending I was happy, you know, and hadn't dealt with so much stuff. And then the menopause, love it or loathe it, it's like a great big volcano, isn't it? It's like, oh, and the mask drops, doesn't it? The mask that we've all worn of like, I used to say, oh, I feel like a swan, but underneath I'm a duck. But the thing is, now I'm a duck and I don't mind admitting it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm really ditzy.
Just happy being your authentic self. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. You don't have to be masking anything. You can just be. If you want to be happy, you're happy. If you want to be, have your emotions and be allowed to have your emotions without someone saying, "Oh, no, there, never mind." You know, you just
that's not like you.
We'll be positive, or God,
yeah.
Well, I had a few years ago. I remember a few people saying to me, I had about 3 or 4 people in one within about space of a month. Oh my God, you're like the most positive person I've ever met. You're like,
how irritating.
It's like, God, if you only knew how messed up I was in the inside, you'd be like, oh, she's not.
Yeah.
But you know, say the masking, you know, those masks, this is what this time is all about. It's about being, you know, it sounds very, but just being yourself and allowing people to be themselves as well, you know, and not constantly apologizing. I was always apologizing for, oh, sorry, I've talked too much, or sorry, I've a bit ditzy, or, you know, constantly putting myself down, talking badly about myself and feeling embarrassed and shy, and I still am like that, but I'm way better than I was. Oh God, I'm way better, you know. And and I think a lot of, you know, my friends, we're all unmasked together, and when we go out, we just fall about laughing at our dipsiness. You know what I mean? If we book an appointment or like a ticket to go to an event, it's a miracle if we all get there. You know what I mean? Because we'll be like, who's got the tickets? What time's the event? What day is the event? Is it this week? Is it next week?
Beth,
The way we're
Beth,
going.
Beth, remind us of the name of your business.
Yeah, it's called the Lifestyle Concept. And
Okay.
the website's obviously the www, but it's the lifestyleconcept.co.uk. But I'm on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn.
Under the same name?
Yeah, it's all, actually, if you click on the website, you'll see all the links underneath to click to go down there. It's different links on I think it's the Lifestyle Concept Declutterer on Instagram and Facebook. So if you wanted to search that, but it's easier just to go to the website and then just click on all the links underneath. And I do share a lot, and I think, you know, I'm getting braver in my posts, really, because I don't want to talk about let's get your knicker drawer tidy. Do you know what I mean? I'm nothing more about let's talk about the bigger issues, because
that got you there in the first place.
That's right. That's the superficial stuff, isn't it? Really, having a tidy drawer or something. It's more about the deeper stuff, really, and the letting go and moving forward. You know, suitcase in hand and free as a bird. You know, so.
I think people are finding it a lot. Whereas before, people would tend to keep a lot of things to themselves and don't want to share. Even like having a business and being authentically yourself with your business, a lot of people that was another form of a suppression. But now it's like, I think people are being a little bit more open, and people are being more receptive to people being open. And like, you know, you're saying you wanted to have an event where you've got all these different people covering things, because like even now with if those kind of events, they're coming a bit more authentic, whereas before you just felt like just people talking at you. Party, talking at you.
And I'm so happy and life's so perfect and this is how you do it. And it's like, now I think people are coming out, aren't they, and saying, actually, I've got ADHD, or I'm a bit autistic, or
well, it's all about the story now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, you need to do your story for people to link with you.
Totally. In fact, funny enough, just on that subject, I didn't want people to know that I had ADHD, because it was for me to get the diagnosis, and it doesn't rule my life. I don't allow it to, because I know the traits. So I do things like I set timers. I have wear a watch because I can check the time all the time. So all the things that you do. But really interestingly, for ages, I couldn't bring myself to share, because I thought people are going to assume that I'm absolutely not organized at all. Definitely can't help them. But that's not the truth. You can have ADHD and still, you can see, you know, it's very orderly in my home. I can still be organized, because I use the positives of ADHD, the hyper focus. I've definitely got a little bit of OCD as well, which is great. I love it, because the two together work brilliantly. But yeah, it's like you say, being authentic, Beverly, it's scary. It's really scary. Even now, I think, oh, do people judge me? Do they go on there and think, oh? But I'm starting to do it now. I did the post last week, and I talked about my diagnosis and how I got there. And I love it when people and do you know something? To be fair, I kind of want people that got ADHD to come to me. They are my people. You know, my tribe.
Your tribe.
They are though. You know. Because they're going to understand me, and we have such a laugh, because every week I go and see them, I always leave something, and we've got a bit of a thing now. We go, right, what have I forgotten today? Because there'll be something that I've lost, but they love it, because I'm just being authentic. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't do the job for them because I can. So
there
we go. All right, so
thank you.
We're just going to say,
oh, it's been really lovely talking to you both. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it.
No, I appreciate you covering this. Like, because I like I said, I was like, I like the sound of what you're doing. I've been checking you out. I love what you do. I love the lifestyle. We say it's called the lifestyle concept.
Concept, yeah.
It's an absolutely great concept. I know it's a much needed service, and good on you for thinking of it and doing it, and obviously you do it quite well. And because
Thank you so much, girls, and
something
lovely.
that changes people's lives. It's got to be an amazing thing to do. Yeah,
And to do something you love, it's all good, isn't it?
I'll let you know.
right.
So fabulous. Oh, it's really nice to meet you, ladies. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
It's so lovely. It's great what you're doing. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Very
So we
much.
call that a wrap now then?
Yeah, we're calling that a wrap.
That's all right. All right.
Bye now.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
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 Bye.